What do you think? Should I drive underneath of him?
Hey everybody, I got the sun in my eyes. I'm Bill with Live Simple, Live Free. And you know, when we bought this house in Florida, we knew of course that we were going to be gone from this place for 6 months at a time over the summer. So we put in cameras around so I can actually see the cameras from my phone while we're in Virginia. I did a video about that, you've seen that. But I also thought that it would probably be a good idea for me to come down here at least once during the summer just to kind of check things out. And right now Elizabeth is in Maine visiting her sister for a couple of weeks. I was home alone in Virginia, so I thought this would be a good time for me to just make this trip down here just to check out the house, make sure everything's okay. But I also had a bunch of furniture that I needed to bring down. You know, the two china cabinets that we have in our kitchen in Virginia that makes it the room too cluttered and too small. We didn't want to get rid of them because one of them is from my grandmother and the other one is from Elizabeth's mother. So what we've decided to do is bring one of them down here, which I did in this trailer. Also, it's so funny, Elizabeth kept saying she didn't want to buy anything for this house up there, you know, like at Goodwill and stuff like that. She didn't want to buy anything up there in Virginia. She wanted to do all that down here so that we didn't have to haul it, but she kept finding things. I'll show you. Just a couple of sets of end tables, but she found great ones that fit exactly what we needed at a good price. So now I have a whole trailer full with the china cabinet and several sets of end tables and a couple of other boxes of things that we needed. So I thought for me to come down now, just a trip down, deliver this stuff, check out the house, and be back 2 days later without Elizabeth would be a good time because it's a lot of driving. I love this little trailer that I got at Lowe's. I bought it just so I could bring my motorcycle back and forth between Virginia and Florida, and I figured I'd use it twice a year when I make the trip back and forth. Turns out I'm using it like once a week. I can't believe how practical it is. Easy to haul behind my little car. However, it has this metal bottom. It doesn't have a solid bottom. It has this metal grate bottom. So to protect this stuff from the weather, I had to wrap it up like a burrito. So what I did was I put one tarp down on the bottom before I put the furniture in, and then wrapped it up here to make like a bathtub for it to sit in, and then had to put another one down on top of it. And with all the bungees and straps and everything, it was all solid, nothing moved or flapped in the wind. I really like the way it traveled. Man, I gotta get this done. I don't know how you Floridians do it, I'll be honest, here in the summer. It's only 8:30 in the morning. It's not hot yet. It's probably 75 degrees. And I'm already dripping with sweat, and I haven't even started the work yet. The humidity is just unreal. I feel like I need a scuba tank to be able to breathe out here. I got to get this done because it's going up to about 95 today, and when it does, I'll be in there with the air conditioning and I won't come out till evening. So kudos to you Floridians that survive this summer weather. I don't know how you do it. We love it here in the winter. Now when Elizabeth got her desk for her office back there, these came along with it. She got two of them, and they matched the desk. They're kind of rustic looking. We had them out here temporarily, but she still wants those in the office. So we got these new ones. The old one was kind of rustic looking. This one is much more refined. Looks a little better. There we go. I like that. Now these little end tables Elizabeth originally bought for the living room, and as soon as I saw them I said nope, doesn't go there, and I confiscated them. And here's why. These aren't really end tables, these are nightstands. This is my office and a guest bedroom, and there's not a whole lot of room here between the bed and the desk, and we wanted to get a full-size bed, but you know what? They don't make quality beds in full size anymore, very rarely. All we could find was a queen, so that added a little extra width. If I put a bigger nightstand there, it's going to push the bed a little bit too close that way, and I didn't really want it like that. As you can see right now, I just have the lamp sitting on an old box. There we go. It looks good, works fine. If I had had anything wider over there, I wouldn't have enough walkway here. But as it is, that's going to work. And you know, it was actually because I confiscated these for this room that Elizabeth kept looking, and she found the other ones for the living room that actually are much better out there, and she likes them much better. It's also much better to have this higher, closer to the level of the bed, instead of down so low where it was before when it was just sitting on that box. Now we can actually reach the light from the bed. It's nice that we've got a ramp.
This is the china cabinet that belonged to my grandmother. And my very earliest memories in her house, she already had this in the dining room, and I'm 66 years old. So I don't know how old this is, but it might be close to 90 or 100 years old.
So I took these glass doors off of here because it was laying flat in the trailer, and if glass lays flat and you hit a bump, it could shatter. So I took these off, propped them up in the back seat of the car. So now that everything's here safe, I have to reinstall the doors. All right, there we go. This bookcase was in the living room in Virginia behind the couch. And we had too much clutter in there. She wanted it here in her office in Florida, and it allows us to declutter Virginia a little bit. I didn't know if it was going to fit here where she wanted it, but it's got plenty of room. So if you've been watching our channel for a while, you know all of this, but we've had a whole bunch of new people subscribe recently, so I'll give you a little bit of what's going on here. We live in Virginia. And last December, we bought this house. This is our second home, and it's in Florida. And this is our winter house. So we plan on spending summers in Virginia, winters in Florida. I came down here for this quick little trip just to bring a little bit of furniture down here and just check on the house, make sure it's okay, that sort of thing. When we bought this house, I had some renovations that I had to do. Right over underneath of there was a water leak, and there was a couple of main beams in the house that were rotted, and I had to jack the house up a little bit and replace all those main beams. I refinished the hardwood floor on the inside, the whole house, and then I repainted the inside of the whole house. One other thing that I did, this is an addition that went on. It's the laundry room, and they used T111 siding, and the bottom 2 feet of it was rotten from water splashing down on it and splashing up. So I replaced all this T111 here and here. And then I painted it, of course, to protect it from the weather, but I put a coat of primer on it, but then I didn't have time before we had to go back to Virginia to put the final coat on it. So this has only been primer. And primer doesn't hold up real well against the weather. It really needs the second coat. So this is the siding with just the primer coat on it. You can already see it's not weathering really well. I've already taken a brush and scrubbed a lot of stuff off of there. So I want to get a proper coat of exterior paint on here before it continues to deteriorate. So now while I'm down here to do the furniture, bring the furniture down, I'm just going to take the morning to get this painted so it'll be much more weather resistant. And I'm out here first thing in the morning. Hopefully I'll be able to get this done before it starts to get too hot. The paint is Sherwin-Williams Weather Shield Exterior Satin, and the color is called Slush. Now unfortunately the grooves in the wood siding are too deep for me to be able to paint them with a roller, and I don't have a spray gun here, so I'm going to have to paint the grooves by hand with a brush and then come back later for the surface with the roller. It's going to take a little more time, but I'll get her done. So I finished this painting project now. It really wasn't bad. It really only took me maybe an hour and a half or something like that to get it done. I finished by mid-morning, long before it started to get really hot, so that was a good thing. When you first glance at it, it doesn't look any different because the primer was white and this paint is also white. But when you look at it closely, you can see that it's now covered with a thick, like almost rubbery kind of surface that the primer didn't have. So that means that it will be weather resistant much better. So I'm very happy with that. The rest of the house will eventually be painted the same color, but I'm not even going to think about that now. Probably sometime next winter I'll take my time and work on that as I can. So it's time for me to head home now in the morning. I've only been here for a couple days, and now I got to get back to Virginia so that I can be there to pick up Elizabeth when she flies in from Maine. So thanks for watching. Live simple, live free. You be blessed.